Welcome to Becoming Astrology. I'm your host and astrologer, Heather Reeves. In our third episode, we will discuss the astrology for the week of June 19th to 25th of 2023. The main theme this week is taking care of yourself in the space you are in. This week, the sun moves into caring and nurturing Cancer. The sun will be ruled by the moon for the next 30 days, helping us to find comfort around the zodiac. Two of the asteroid goddesses move signs. Juno moves into Cancer and Vesta moves into Gemini. There are no major lunations this week, but the moon is busy. And after our first two episodes, I've learned some lessons, and this week I am late getting this video out. I have been experiencing a very hard case of the sun and Mercury in Gemini. It has felt like an information vortex that has been just a lot to manage. Gemini, so I'm a Sagittarius sun and rising, and that means that Gemini is on the polar opposite side of who I tend to be naturally. It means that Gemini is who I have the most to learn from, but Gemini season can be really difficult for me just because it's so much information. Gemini represents my 6th house of daily work, pets, and routines, and it also represents my 7th house of one-to-one relationships. So, over the last few weeks, I've been spending a lot of time at the vet with my fur babies for preventative care. They're all okay. And then choosing the people that I want to work with, either at work or in my home life, and then spending time with those I love most. So spending time with my sweet partner Wade and my parents, and friends. So my phone has also been blowing up with communication from work and the day-to-day stuff, but then also from my sister or people that I see as siblings. So all in all, these are amazing blessings that are helping me with my North Node and Jupiter dream, but it has been incredibly time-consuming. So I love Gemini, and I'm looking forward to the sun moving into Cancer so that things can slow down. And the funny thing is, I actually didn't get to sit and record this video until the sun moved into Cancer. It's almost 2 hours to the minute after the sun moved into Cancer, and I'm finally able to sit down and get this video recorded. So, praise be. I am ready for Cancer season. So with all of this in mind, I've made adjustments to the video this week to make things hopefully easier for you to understand, less technical, and to accommodate my press schedule. I would really love your feedback in the comments to let me know if it's a better fit for you. And I don't have the chart images this week because they take so long to make and put the little lines on there, but I am planning on having them next week because I think that visual is valuable. But please let me know what you think. And with all of that in mind, let's splash into the week. I also committed for this video that I wasn't going to edit it. I was just going to go straight through and not edit it. So I'm sorry, you just heard my cat Mickey trying to jump onto a table and he caught a basket instead and fell down. Such is life, right? So first on Monday, we have some moon aspects, and this is not all the aspects for the day. This is just what I found to be the most important aspects, and the rest of the week will be set up like that too. So we start with the moon in Cancer, semi-sextile Venus and Mars in Leo. And what I've done here in the first line is I have the themes of the planet, the aspect, the planets in this case, and then the next line I have the representation of the signs. So we are looking at the moon as a nurturing and caring aspect, adjusting, let me restart. Moon in Cancer, semi-sextiles, Venus and Mars in Leo. So we're looking at the ideas of nurturing and caring, adjusting to reach our full potential, love and values, and action. And the characters we have are the crab, who is protective and caring, and then the lion, who takes courageous action and is playful. So today, on Monday, I hope that you find a way to take care of yourself in a loving way so that you can continue to take action in a heart-centered way. Fire warms water, so maybe taking a warm bath. I've taken several warm showers this week already. I also kind of think of this with Leo being a courageous action taker. Sometimes we work so much that our work becomes ineffective because we're just working, and that taking some time out to take care of ourselves helps us perform more in whatever work it is that we're doing. And I think you'll see that theme several times this week, especially while the moon is in Cancer. Next, on Monday, we have Jupiter in Taurus, sextile Saturn in Pisces. So we are looking at expansion and luck with a positive working aspect to structures, time, and responsibility. We have the characters of the bull, who is hardworking but also appreciative of luxurious items and lifestyles. And then we also have the fish, who is compassionate and intuitive. So this relates back to when Saturn and Jupiter met in a conjunction in December of 2020. I think it was December 20th, 2020. And they started a new story, a new dream. And so I want you to kind of think back to that time. What dream did you seed in late December? Now is a great time to take positive working strides to bringing structure to that dream so it can grow. I think this is really interesting because I started learning astrology back in April of 2020. And by December, when this aspect happened, my dream was to become an astrologer. And here I am starting this YouTube channel. This is also aligned with my Jupiter North Node dream and bringing it out into the world. So this is hard work. It's not easy for me to do, but I am enjoying doing it. And so hopefully these working strides are going to help me bring better structure. Like just doing the video and not editing it, and, you know, working with what I've got. If my schedule's pressed, I'm just going to change it. Progress is better than perfection. So I hope that, just think back to that time period. What were you hoping for yourself, and how can you work with that now? And if you don't remember that dream, that's okay. I have a feeling that that dream has probably had a theme for the last few years for you. And what dream are you working on? And just find ways to bring structure so that the dream can grow. Okay, on Tuesday, we have another moon day. There were no planetary aspects happening, but there were moon aspects happening with the planets. So these are a couple. The moon in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. So moon in Cancer is nurturing and caring. A trine is positive flowing energy, and Neptune in Pisces is represented by the dreams and the deep psyche. Cancer is represented by the crab, and Pisces is represented by the fish, who is compassionate and intuitive. So again, all of this kind of comes back to the dream, but also the home place, and how you nurture yourself. So you've been working hard to pursue your dream. What nurturing do you need to keep up the pace? Take time to dream and journal and take care of you. A lot of people want to know, how do you work with the trine aspect? That's a great question. Trines are really positive aspects, but they can be kind of lazy, and they can kind of float by without you noticing. So I think a great way to work with the trine is to just journal. I also think it's a great time to just take a shower or a bath with no other things around you, because it's a flowing energy. So I think of water as a flowing energy. To just be with yourself, be with your thoughts, be with your soul, and invite that trine in. And that's a great way to work with it. Let's see here. Now, if you're in Aries and you have a trine, maybe you need to go kayaking or go for a river float. That could also be a good way to do it, because you need to be able to take action. Okay. Next, we have Moon in Cancer opposite Pluto in Capricorn. So again, nurturing and caring. It's a big theme this week. Oppositions represent transformational energy to work together rather than apart. So how do we get the Moon and Pluto to work together to the same goal rather than working against each other for their own goals? And then Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn is represented by transformation. So the crab is protective and caring, and then the goat is hardworking and power-seeking. Capricorns are very ambitious. Give yourself the power to say no to what is not serving you in your dream, and then give yourself the power to say yes to what is serving your dream in yourself, so you can take care of yourself. You are responsible for who you are becoming. Sometimes when I'm writing these aspects, I wonder, man, am I on track with this? Am I getting these energies correct? And it's interesting because yesterday at work, I received an email about a workshop with HR about how to say no. And that saying no can be an okay choice. And I have said many times over the last couple of years to close family members or my partner that no is an appropriate and polite answer. And it's okay to say no. So just think about that here. You might be put in a position where you need to say no to something, and it is a polite and appropriate answer. In fact, yesterday, when this transit was happening, I did find myself in a situation where I had to tell someone, no, I need you to stop calling me. This is not professional or productive, and I need you to stop calling me. I'm going to work with so-and-so from this point forward to get this project complete. It wasn't being rude, but it was standing up for myself, and no was a polite and appropriate answer. So there you go. All right, Wednesday. Sun in Gemini quincunx Pluto in Capricorn. So the sun in Gemini is shining brightly, and then a quincunx is potential that is difficult to realize. And then Pluto in Capricorn, we're looking at transformation. With Gemini, we're looking at the twins, which is represented by duality and connection, also communication. And then we have the goat with Capricorn, again, hardworking, power-seeking, achievement-oriented. What information have you received about how you could shine, but seems intimidating or too powerful to you? What would happen if you embrace this energy for deep transformation? So it's funny, right before I started recording this, I was like, I am such a fraud. I feel like such a fraud putting myself out there with this astrology video, and who am I to even communicate this stuff? I need more education, which is true. I do want and need more astrological education. However, I know my potential is there even though I can't see it in this moment. So I'm recording this video anyways. So Wow, it's amazing to see astrology in action. I'm almost glad that I've recorded this video a few days late because I'm actually seeing all of this kind of unwind. So I do encourage you to pursue your potential, even if it's difficult for you to realize today. Next up, we have the Mercury in Gemini sextile Mars in Leo. So we're looking at communication, a positive working aspect, and action. Twins, duality and connection and communication with Gemini. And then with Leo the Lion, we are looking at courageous action taking and playfulness. So, what information have you received that will help you take action so that you can shine your light into the world? How can you be playful with this idea and enjoy it? I have a feeling that after I get this video out, I might get a message from my friend who will say, I'm glad you got it out. And it will encourage me to keep going for next week. All right, next up. Ooh. So also on Wednesday at 10:58 a.m., the sun entered Cancer. I'm so excited for this. I love Cancer. I have so many Cancer people in my life. My dad is a Cancer sun. My friend Evan is a Cancer sun. I have multiple cousins and aunts and uncles who are also Cancer suns. And Cancer was kind of a sign a couple years ago that I didn't really understand and maybe felt was a little too compassionate. And here recently, I've been like, I really need more Cancer in my life. My progressed sun and rising sign is in Capricorn, which means now at this progression in my life, I'm attracting in Cancers to my life to learn from. So, Cancer is the cardinal water symbol, Cancer is cardinal water symbolized by the crab. So when we think of water energy, we're thinking of flow, we're thinking of emotions, intuition, kind of like that magic. And then with cardinal, that is the first what am I trying to say? Fixed, mutable. Okay, sorry. I was going through the things in my mind. Cardinal is the first sign of a season. So Aries is the cardinal sign for spring. Cancer is the cardinal sign for summer, and then Libra is the cardinal sign for fall. Capricorn is the cardinal sign for winter. Cardinal signs get things started. They are the initiators of the zodiac. They start things so that the fixed signs can stabilize them, and then the mutable signs can refine them. And when we're thinking about Cancer, we are thinking about the crab and summertime. So the crabs kind of come up from the depths of the ocean to float in the warm water. They are in a process of regenerating their shells during the summertime, and it's just a really warm and comfortable environment. That's part of why Cancer represents the home and hearth. They represent the mothering energy and a nurturing energy. They represent family and memories that we have. They are very patient. Cancers will sit back and observe situations before they take action. And they also blend in. So that doesn't mean that they're not powerful. They are exceptionally powerful, but they can blend in to a room, into a group, and they use their power in a very subtle way, kind of under the radar. And they're also very go with the flow. So we're going to have this energy from June 21st until July 22nd. And I really encourage you to enjoy this. It's a great time to reconnect with your home roots, to connect with your 4th house in your zodiac, or your natal chart. It's a great time to connect with your parents or those who parented you. And it's also a great time to just reflect back on memories that are really positive. Just remember that what you reflect on is what you're going to attract in, so make sure it's positive memories. When I think about my dad, and when I think about Cancer, I think about my dad, and he's very quiet in some ways, but very caring. And so, he always did whatever was necessary to get us packed up for camp, get us packed up for the beach, made sure we arrived safely, and he was the chef of the family. He made most of our meals, especially on the grill during the summer. And when you look at a room full of our family, my dad is there, but he's not the one shining. He's not at the forefront. I have some cousins that are always going to be at the forefront. Definitely have some powerful Leo in our family. But he's there, and he's always supporting, and he's very patient. Anytime a difficult situation comes up, he can say, we need to think about this before we take action. So, I wish you a wonderful Cancer season. June 21st is also the summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year, so I hope that you enjoy it. All right, on to Thursday. So I have 2 slides for you today. We're going to talk about some asteroids that we haven't spoken about before, but they're going to be changing signs. So I think the energy that we're going to feel here is going to be important. On Thursday, Juno will also enter Cancer with the Sun, and Juno will stay there until August 15th. Juno is a goddess, which is wonderful. It's nice to have some more feminine energy in the zodiac. And she represents partnerships. Cancer represents the home and hearth. Juno is represented by or symbolized by the goddess of marriage and childbirth, while Cancer is represented by the crab, who's protective and caring. Think that this is going to be a really beautiful energy, and you're really going to enjoy being at home with those that you have partnered with and love deeply. And if you are not partnered, this is a really nice time to think about what kind of partnership is going to feel like home to you. My sweetie and I have been together for 7.5 years almost, and I've found that having comfort and understanding means so much more than I ever thought it would. And so, when I think about my partner, Wade is a wonderful partner to have at home. He enjoys being at home. He enjoys improving our home together. He's a great cat dad. And those are qualities that I really enjoy with him. So I want you to think about, what partnerships do you want to invite in? And what partnerships do you have that you want to adjust to create a more comforting and nurturing environment? And this can play out in several ways. So we actually have a carpet cleaning business, and we've been running out of a Subaru Forester. So that's been our home for our business, and we need to invite in a partnership with my uncle, who works in the car business, to help us find a bigger home for our business. We need to get like a minivan or something. So we're going to invite in that partnership with my uncle and have him help us adjust that home so it can be more comforting and nurturing to Wade and his employees during their day-to-day environment. We are also working with a contractor to help us fix our roof on our home. And so we'll be signing that contract while Juno is in Cancer. And I'm really excited about that because it's going to be a very comfortable experience for us. So Vesta is going to enter Gemini until September 13th. So Vesta also represents the home and hearth. Are you seeing why I said this week's theme is about comforting and caring for yourself? And then Gemini is represented by information and communication, also the twins. So the symbol for Vesta is the Virgin Goddess of home, hearth, and family. And the symbol for Gemini is the twins, which is duality and connection and communication. How can you bring warmth and comfort to your communication and lovingly interpret the information that you receive? I am really excited about this because I feel like, oh, wow, over the last several years, information has been interpreted in a very adversarial way. And that's difficult. It's been difficult for all of us. But I think Vesta being in Gemini is going to soften our communication and bring that feminine value of home and love and comfort to the conversation. So as this time happens between now and mid-September, I really want to encourage you to soften your communication and still speak up for yourself. That's just powerful, okay? So still speak up for yourself, but deliver messages in a loving way. And then when you receive information, make sure that you're filtering it through in a loving way. Maybe repeating it back to the person and saying, I heard this, and I understand it in this way. Is that what you meant? Could be very helpful during this time period and a beautiful way to work with the energy. All right. Also on Thursday, we have Mercury and Gemini, semi-sextile, Uranus and Taurus. I'm going to get some water and we'll continue. Okay, so Mercury is represented by communication. A semi-sextile invites us to adjust to reach our full potential. And Uranus is represented by unexpected change. Gemini is symbolized by the twins, and Taurus is represented by the bull, excuse me. So what information have you received that allows you to creatively change how you're working so you can be more aligned with your values? I think it's important to look at how you're working, not only at work. How are you operating in your home life? How are you operating in your family life? How are you operating in how you care for yourself? And be mindful for the information that comes in that allows you that opportunity to change so that you can be more aligned with your values in all of those areas, because Taurus is represented by values. Okay, so Friday is all about the moon. On this slide, I have changed this around a little bit to make sure everything could fit. So I have the moon in Virgo right here, making all of these aspects to the other planets. So first up, we have the moon in Virgo, sextile the sun in Cancer. So with the moon in Virgo, we're looking at things a little bit differently. The moon is always trying to nurture us and represents our emotions. And Virgo is represented by the Virgin. But I like to think of that as someone who, how do I want to say this? Someone who has an innocence about them and a lack of understanding yet in their life. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not smart or intelligent, but they haven't experienced certain things yet, and they're in this life to experience it. The positive view of Virgo when they are working in their light is they are service oriented and they have deep integrity. And when we're looking at the shadow side of Virgo, we're looking at criticism and too high of expectations, I think. So when we're looking at this, I always am going to encourage you to look at the light side of the sign, because again, where you focus is what will manifest in your life. So we have the Virgin, service-oriented with integrity, a sextile, which is a positive working aspect, and the Sun, who is shining brightly, and Cancer is represented by the Crab. So what nurturing service can you provide to shine brightly at home with family? So I say at home with family because we're looking at Cancer and the moon. And it feels good to take care of your family. You know, maybe this looks like making a meal for a loved one or cleaning up the house so that they don't have to. Or if you're going for a bike ride, get the bikes ready and pump up the tires. That way the loved one that you're going with can just jump right on and enjoy the ride. Next up, we have Moon in Virgo opposite Saturn in Pisces. So in opposition is that transformational energy to work together rather than separately. And then Saturn is structure and responsibility. Pisces is the fish, who is compassionate and intuitive. How can you create structures with integrity to be of service to yourself and others? So let's remember that Saturn has stopped in the sky and is going retrograde in Pisces for the first time. And so all of those compassionate structures that we've been working on either building or dissolving in the last few months, we're now up for revision there. And the moon in Virgo is saying, hey, let's bring integrity to those structures to make sure they serve everyone, which is a really beautiful thought process the moon is having. Next, we have the moon in Virgo trine Jupiter in Taurus. So trines are positive flowing aspects, and Jupiter is luck and expansion, while Taurus is the hardworking and luxurious bull. So I'm going back to our Jupiter North Node dream from a few episodes ago because I still think that's at play here. How will your Jupiter North Node dream provide service to others? This is a journal question for you because, again, I really like to journal with trines or take time in water by myself, no podcast, no phone, no whatever, and just be with your thoughts and open yourself to receive from the universe. So again, just give yourself that option to look at your dream. How can it be of service to others to provide integrity to the world and you? All right, on Saturday, we have the moon in Virgo, semi-sextile Venus and Leo. This is the only aspect for Saturday. So we have a very quiet day, and I think it will be fairly enjoyable for you. The moon is still in Virgo, and she semi-sextiles Venus and Leo. So we have our two feminine planets in the sky at work, nurturing and emotions, adjust to reach your full potential as a semi-sextile, and then love and values with Venus. We have the Virgin again with the Lion. So when we're looking at this energy, take time to think about how can you nurture others so your values shine brightly with those you love the most. I also wanted you to think about courage here, because sometimes it takes courage to shine your values brightly to those you love most. Sometimes they can be the hardest critic, right? We're looking at Virgo. It can be a little critical. But it's okay to nurture yourself, and it's okay to nurture others. Something I like to do is share my astrology with those that I love, and not everyone that I love is comfortable with my astrology, but they are curious about it, especially when things are hard. They're like, what's happening? It's like, okay, I can provide this service to you as a way to nurture you, and it allows me to shine brightly with you, and I love you the most. So I hope you have an opportunity to share whatever your light is with the people you love on Saturday. All right, so next up we have the moon in Virgo having 2 aspects to Mercury and Neptune. So again, the slide's set up a little differently. Let me know how you like this. It helps me with next week's episode. So again, nurturing in emotions with the Virgin, who is service-oriented with integrity, and then square Mercury in Gemini. Squares give us an opportunity to make a decision so we can turn a corner. So think about that 90-degree angle. Squares are uncomfortable. I'm just gonna put it out there. They're not easy. They create tension and pressure, and the way to work with the square is to make a decision. And then we have Mercury, who's communication, and Gemini, the twins, duality and connection and communication. So think about some of the decisions that you've been making recently. Sunday is going to be your day to communicate those decisions that you've made with integrity, so it's nurturing for yourself and others. I don't have a great example of this, other than, like, I do pet communication also. So when we make decisions with our pets about maybe some health decisions or home decisions, we like to communicate those to them. So the square is the decision, communication is Mercury and Gemini. Virgo moon is the integrity, so that it is nurturing, okay? Then we have the moon in Virgo opposite Neptune in Pisces. So oppositions are the transformational energy to work together. Neptune is dreams and the deep psyche. Pisces is the compassionate and intuitive fish. So bring integrity to your dream by being compassionate instead of critical. And you can apply this to others. You can apply this to yourself. I think on this day you'll have the opportunity to do both, since Virgo is involved. And whatever that dream is, for yourself, for your family, for your friends, be compassionate. Don't be critical on yourself. That's usually doubt. That self-doubt is criticism. And the last aspect for the week is Mercury in Gemini square Neptune in Pisces. Mercury is communication. Squares make a decision that helps us turn a corner. And then Neptune is dreams and deep psyche. Gemini is the twins. Pisces is the fish. So today is a great day to communicate the decisions that you've made about your dream. So if you remember a few weeks ago, we were making a dream, but maybe weren't necessarily sharing that information out. It needed some protection at that time, but we've all spent the whole week being nurturing and caring for ourselves so that we can be nurturing and caring towards others. Today is a great day to pick one person to share the dream with and a decision that you've made about that dream. So next Sunday, when I am working to get the next episode out, I might have a decision that I need to communicate either to you or my partner about what is going to happen next with this dream. So, thank you so much for tuning in to Becoming Astrology and sharing the astrology this week with me. Tell me in the comments below where these transits are hitting in your chart and what is the big dream that you are working on and how you are going to be compassionate and nurturing with yourself. I appreciate all the time you take to like, subscribe, and share this video with your astrology friends and family. If you'd like to be notified when the next week video posts, hit that notification bell and be the first to know. Many blessings to you this week as you transform on your astrological journey to who you are truly becoming.